Hi everyone, this is Amy. This is video take 2. The first time I went way over, so I'm going to go ahead and just jump to it. I made a journal of my favorites, and it's unfinished, although it looks like it's finished because it is super thick. Look at this. I love it though. But this is a book of my favorites, and I've been wanting to make one of these for so long. And I don't know why I couldn't get it. I was going to buy one even because I just didn't know how to put one together. And I don't know why, because it ended up being so easy. But I used the Bind It All, and that was another thing. I didn't think I could go past the, the Bind It only gives you so much, but then I realized that's super easy to do too. So turns out I do like the Bind It All. But anyway, I used the Bind It All, and then I just put some black tulle on it to cover it up so it looks nice. And then I used some grunge board for the journal, and then I used, how I got this effect on here is I painted it with my black dauber paint, and then I put it in UD, and it really gave it a nice looking effect there. So for the front cover, like I said, this is my book of favorites, and I used a tag that we got in a tag swap, and this tag is from Arlene over at My Butterfly Kisses 12, and I've been in love with this tag from the moment it came out of the package. I just love it. There's so much detail to it, and there's fabric on the background, and it's just absolutely beautiful, and it looked perfect on here. So when I set it up on my desk, I can see it. And then for the back, she had sent me a little rack, and in the rack was this beautiful tag, which I loved. And I'd take it to work, or just having it around. And I thought, well, you know what, I could put it here because, like I said, this thing stands up, so I see it, I can enjoy it from both angles, and I love it. So that was my front and back cover, and I used the, everybody recognizes the paper probably, but it's the Graphic 45 Fashionista paper. This is the front of the paper, and then this is the back of the paper. And it's so hard to use the Graphic 45 paper because it's so beautiful on both sides. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get flipping, and I'll point out a couple little things that, why they're important to me. If you have any questions on what I've used, let me know, and I'll try my best to get back to you. But this is a little file folder that my mom was playing around with, and she made one evening, and then I just stamped a little image on there. So you see, it's just a little book of things that mean a lot to me. And this is a beautiful flower that I got from my good friend Jules over at Janaval's. If you haven't checked out her store, she's at the Jewel Box. Awesome customer service. Every little detail is just perfect. And then and like I said, I'm gonna flip. Last time I talked too long, but I did all of the aging and distressing with Vintage Photo, and I just taped this on here, so I get, and they're manila dividers, and then I divided them up into sections so you could see. I have one that says art, fun, family, inspire, ideas, and friends, and I taped all the pages in there. So, and then I flip it over, and then real quick, this is a piece of paper that I got from Joel. She had flowers on it that she made for me, and all of my little scraps that I love that I would never throw out, I just kind of stuck in here because after all, this is my book of favorites, and I can do it. And I made this for another project that I never ended up using. I stuck it in there. That's what's so fun about this. I can do whatever I want with it because it's mine and it's fun. And this is all watercolor paper that I cut down to size. So I can paint on it and do whatever I want. And you see, I just kind of took all my little favorite papers and put them in here, and I can just totally load this up with things. This is a card that I really liked that I cut, and I loved it. I cut this out on one of another project I used. And this is another paper that I got from Jules that she had her flowers on. I love it. I even have Jules down there. But look at the back of this paper. I love it. But this book is so fun. I just put every little thing, every little gadget in here. I just love the way that it feels. But I put these tags here, And anytime I want to distress them up or do something with it, no worries, because I can just stick a piece of paper down here and do whatever I want to do on these tags to grind them up, stress them up, write on them, do whatever. More watercolor paper. And this is another card I got at Michael's that I loved. I cut it in half and used them in here. More paper. And then this, I love this trim, and I left it open so I could fit whatever I want underneath there. And then this is my movie tickets. I have a ton of them because I don't know, probably there's a lot of girls out there like me that just save all their movie tickets. And what do you ever do with them? Well, they're going to go in here. I'll just stick them in here. If I run out of room, I can add little pockets, little flips. I can just do whatever. And papers, tags, and then this is one of my favorite pages here. This, we get into the family section of the book, and I used that beautiful trim. And this is a tag that my mother made that I just loved. My mother is all over this book because she is really my inspiration. She is awesome. She is my best friend. She really is. And I love that tag. And I got pieces of her all through this book. And this I left open. This is just little paint chips that one of my friends brought me in from work. But I can stick something down in there. This is a little pocket. And this section here is going to be reserved for my daddy because he's awesome. And those of you who are friends with me on Facebook, my profile picture is my dad now, my dad and I, a couple years ago. But anyway, this section is for him, and I used the Graphic 45 Perfect Gentleman paper there. I love these little tags. I always wanted to do that. This page is so busy it kind of hurts my eyes, but that's okay. And this is the pocket that was on the back of Arlene's tag that I took off and I used down here. And inside it, I put my mother's business card for, she sells jewelry. So I put her business card in there. And then she made me this little clay flower. Isn't it beautiful? And she painted it, I think, with Magical Micas from Lindy Stamp Gang. But I love that. And she's into really making these beautiful things out of clay now. I just love it. And then she also gave me some material. So I just put a little book together. I stitched a little book and just said that she gave me this material. And I have a bunch more, but I wanted to put it in here. But because I didn't know exactly where I was going to put it in the book, I just stuck it in with a clip. Just tied some ribbon. So I have a bunch of these little clips. You can get at Staples. That if I don't have room or don't know where I'm going to put something, I'll just clip it in there for right now. This page, this is one of my first tags that I made that I stuck in here. This, I cut a bag in half, and this is just going to be for pockets, or pockets to stick whatever. And then this section here is dedicated to my mother. And this little book here she made. This is using Laura Dennison's Follow the Paper Trail pattern to make a mini out of a 6x12 piece of paper. So she made this, so I'm going to fill this up with pictures of her, and each one of these are a little tag as well. So you can see the sky's the limit with this book. There's so much you can fit in here, and it's from my mom. So anyway, this is her section. And she also made me this ribbon here. She pleated it for me. So I have that on both the top and the bottom of the pages. I told you my mother is all through this book. And she also made this little ribbon here, and she stamped some little music notes on it. This is a tag that my mother actually received in a tag swap, and I asked her if I could use it in my book, and she said yes. But it was made by Lori R, and she's KLIPNGIRL. YouTube is her channel name. And I love it, and it looks beautiful in here. And then I did some journaling tickets out of the envelopes of the cards. And these are also pockets. I have to glue this down, but I'll just put some red sticky tape here and this will turn into, they'll both turn into pockets. This is a denim flower that I made after that. I was inspired by S.A. Crafter, it's her YouTube channel, and some vintage lace that I had. Some more journaling spots. And some favorites. My favorite ideas I can just stick in here. And I left everything kind of up so I can stick everything behind or whatever. This is an old tag that I got off of a piece of clothing that I loved, that I just stuck an A on it for Amy and stuck it in here. More cards that I cut because I love them. And this is another clay flower that my mother made. This section here is dedicated to all of my little cards and stuff that I can squeeze in here that I got from my friends. I have a lot. This is just what I had handy in front of me, but I have a lot more that I'm going to be adding in here because I am blessed with so many wonderful friends here. So anyway, this is one of the pages, and this is a little tag from Jules over at Janavelle's, and a little tag from Arlene, and a little license plate that Bona made up a while ago over at Live Love Scrap that I got. But I have, like I said, I have a lot more. I have a little card from Rena, Scrap Stress, I'm going to stick in here. And I got some other cards, things, little tags that I'm going to stick in here. I've got, because I got this space, I got this flips up, I got this space, I got behind here. This is a flower that one of my friends, Kim, she lives here by me. She's one of my best friends. She made me this beautiful flower. It says "Shop Till You Drop," and I loved it, so I had to put it in here. Oop, my little favorite thing fell off. Guess I gotta hot glue that on there. But anyway, and then more little spots. The journaling thing with the card that I can turn into pocket. And then this is also a pocket where I can stick things. Like I said, there's no wrong that you can do with this book. It's just a book of favorites. And that was a little ATC card that I made a while back. And there is my journal, my book of favorites. And like I said, it got a little chunky. And I'm just getting started, so I guess I'll have to stick to pretty much flat things. But anyway, I love it, and that's all that matters. So anyway, thank you so much, guys, for stopping by. If you have any questions, please let me know. Thanks. Bye.